All right, my name is Tim Flood. I'm the owner of Trico Painting. We're located in Roseville, California. Our service area includes the Roseville market as well as Folsom, Granite Bay, Lincoln, Rockland, and El Dorado Hills. My education is I've got some college. I started my career path as a eye matcher working in the paint stores. Um, when I was working in the paint store, I noticed that there were some people that looked like they were professionals working at the company, and I inquired as to what their status was, and they informed me that they were outside sales guys. And I figured at that point in time, it's exactly where I wanted to be. So I worked my way up from an iMatcher truck driver delivery guy for the paint manufacturing side of the fence and worked my way up to outside sales. And I did that for a company down in Los Angeles. Worked as an outside sales rep for them. And then I was offered a position for to work for Kelly Moore up here in Northern California. That's how I landed up here. In between working for Kelly Moore, I was approached by another company to be a vice president for their sales and marketing. And so I became vice president of a small manufacturing company here in Sacramento and sold that company to a larger company and became the vice president for that company. It's a Vista Paint company, Vista Paint Manufacturing out of Los Angeles. That's where I actually started my career. Became their vice president and then decided that being a vice president was nice, but I saw other opportunities on the other side of the fence, which was the painting contracting side of the fence. And I decided to take my knowledge of the paint business and apply it to the paint contracting business. And that was about 20 years ago. And we've been doing the paint contracting side of the fence for nearly 20 years. My day, and like most painting contractors, starts at about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I get up to kind of look at what jobs I have coming up. I have crews that work for me. Most painting contractors either start off painting themselves and then go out and hire guys so they can keep bidding and doing things. My job is basically running the crews. I market. I do all the marketing for my company. Make sure all the bills get paid, payroll, all those type of things. But the morning starts with just kind of looking at what jobs we have coming up in the morning, coordinating to make sure the materials are delivered on time, that the crews know where they're going, that the foremen have the information of what the job's going to be. They all carry iPads and laptops to make sure that when they get to the job, they're not wandering around bugging the homeowner. They know exactly what the scope is. They have the color information. They know exactly what parts of the home they're painting and what parts they're not painting. And then after I get my morning started, we're typically either going to do estimates later in the morning. So we have estimators that work for me, but I also do estimating myself. So I'll go out and do 3 to 4 estimates during the day. And in between all of those estimates, I'm either visiting job sites, making sure that the guys are on track to complete the jobs when we think they should be completed, making sure they have the tools, the material, all the things that are required to make that job run smoothly. And then after I'm doing all my estimating, meeting the customers that have required or requested a proposal, I come home and I type those proposals. And then at about 9 o'clock at night, I stop. And then at about 4 in the morning the next morning, I start all over again. So welcome to the paint world. Some of the habits that I've developed since I've been in the painting world, and really I've had the habit since I started my first job, which was showing up on time. I think showing up on time, if you tell somebody you're going to be there at 1 o'clock, you should be there at about 5 minutes till 1 o'clock. You only get one chance at a first impression. And so if you've already blown the first impression by being late, it's hard to kind of make up that ground with anybody, customer, boss, wife, girlfriend. So be on time is I think one of the biggest things you can do. I can tell you that my competitors, I hear more than not that a lot of times they don't return the phone call. They don't get the bid out when they say they were going to get the bid out. They don't show up on time to the appointment. So out the gate, we pretty much have eliminated about 30% of our competitors because we do all of those things. Goal setting is a big part of our business. We're constantly monitoring, our sales, obviously, make sure that we've set those goals and that we can achieve those goals. And when you're starting a career, goal setting is, I'm going to start as a painter, but I want to be a journeyman painter. I want to be a journeyman painter, but then I want to be a foreman. I want to be a foreman, then I want to be a project manager. So there's certain things in the paint industry that are levels that you can set out as goals. In this business, there's two pathways. One is, starting in a paint store. That's a great way to kind of learn the business. That's what I did. It's nothing like learning all of the products and figuring out how those products work to help you jump on into the painting side of the painting contractor side of the business, because knowing products and what products are proper for the certain substrates is critical. The other side of the business is just, going out and applying for a job, looking for painting contractors that are hiring, checking out Craigslist, some of the other places they may post, looking for painters to come in. Starting at the bottom level is being a gopher kind of sort of. You basically would be either masking or pressure washing, doing some sort of prep work for the contractor. But those are good skill sets to learn. You're going to need them anyway. You're going to need to know, owning a business, you need to know, when you're asking somebody to do something, how long it should take. And if you have never done it, you don't know how long it really should take. So you can't really jump on somebody for, not performing if you're not being realistic. The advice I can give to anybody that's looking to break into the painting industry is there are all kinds of different websites and videos and YouTube classrooms, things like that. One of the biggest assets that I use in my business on a weekly basis is an organization called the PCA. It's a Painting Contractors of America. They have an abundant resource. They're an abundant resource for learning materials for not only guys like me who own their own business, and most major paint companies, contractors across the United States belong, if they're serious about their business, they belong to this organization. But they have seminars, they have learning classes, they have mind meld seminars where other painting contractors join once a week and kind of bounce ideas of what they're doing, what kind of problems they're having, how to solve problems. It's a great place to kind of get your feet wet and learn what other guys like me are thinking, and learn. They have education blocks where you can take different courses, and as you're going, you click them off, and they give you credit for it. So that's a great place to jump into this business.